Does Tom Brady have a new weapon on the way? Rex Burkhead activated on Monday. Will he play Sunday? And what can we expect? This is the Foxboro Report. It is brought to you by 1 in 100. If you're looking for cheap tickets to Patriots games, Celtics games, and other events, you've got to check them out at 1in100.co, and you can get into the building for the price of an ice-cold beer or a slice of pizza. Again, that's 1in100.co for cheap tickets to Patriots games, Celtics games, and other events. All right, Evan, Rex Burkhead, the second of two players activated off IR. We'll start right here. Will we see him on Sunday? Duke Dawson inactive his first game back from injured reserve against the Jets. Will we see Burkhead? Will he get to go right out of the gate?
I'm expecting to see Rex Burkhead on Sunday.
Right.
I think it's a pretty big difference between Burkhead and Duke Dawson being a rookie coming off of injured reserve. It's kind of a situation where you don't want to throw a rookie into it too quickly. With Rex Burkhead, he obviously has 1 year of experience in the system, but he's also just a veteran football player in the NFL. I'd expect to see Rex Burkhead as a go on Sunday.
And he can be out there, right, and active, but that doesn't mean he'll play. And you've got Sony Michel playing at a very high level.
Yep.
We know how important James White is to this offense.
Sure.
Where do you see him getting his snaps?
Well, I think that what we can see with Rex Burkhead is that he's one of those matchup guys in the passing game specifically, where the Patriots have kind of struggled at times this year, I would say, to find matchup players, guys that, you can put out against a certain guy like a linebacker with Rex Burkhead's case and get a nice matchup for Tom Brady to pick apart in the passing game. And that's what I'm kind of looking forward to for the Patriots with getting Rex Burkhead back. It's just another matchup nightmare for defenses to worry about. I think nowadays we're starting to hear a little chatter in the football cognoscenti that maybe Gronk and Julian Edelman aren't quite as dynamite of matchup players as they have been in the past. So they get another one back, maybe some red zone targets for Rex Burkhead, kind of stretch the field a little bit from the running back position.
Well, besides the red zone targets, we know the Patriots have struggled in the red zone on the goal line at times.
Yeah, he could be that.
He's not a traditional power back, but he's proven to be a good goal line back. Can he help the Patriots solve some of those woes?
Yeah, I think he could. I think that the main things that I'm seeing with the goal line, though, is actually up front and not necessarily with the backs. But I definitely.
But could having a guy with a little more experience on the goal line maybe help the offensive line? There's a little more room for error.
It could, and I think that having another body in general kind of makes it so that you don't have to necessarily run a lot of those outside handoffs to kind of stay away from contact on a guy like Sony Michel. Having a guy like Rex Burkhead that understands how to take hits and understands how to go into piles and come out on the other end. I know that Rex Burkhead's had his injury history in the past, but now that you have that depth kind of restored, this is almost like they didn't make a move at the trade deadline. Getting Rex Burkhead back now is kind of like they made a move
I hate that argument. Any sport, I hate that argument.
Well, how do you hate
Player
that
coming back from injury, it's a move on the deadline. Because you already had that guy.
But you didn't know he was going to come back. I mean, he's on injured reserve.
But so is this why they didn't go get a running back at the deadline, is what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they knew that they were going to get Rex Burkhead back. Why, if you're going to go get a guy at the deadline at the running back position, and then you're going to cut him 3 weeks later? Do you think they knew that many weeks ago?
Belichick said it was a week-to-week process working with Burkhead.
Belichick likes to say that type of
That's
stuff.
Fair. That is fair.
I really think that they knew. I think that if they knew that they weren't getting Rex Burkhead back, then they would have been way more aggressive with either signing or acquiring a running back, and they did neither. They really rode with what they had with James White, Cordell Patterson, obviously playing running back at times, because I think that they were waiting for Rex Burkhead to come back, and they kind of have known all along that he was going to be the player.
All right, we've been asked this a lot this week, so we'll get it on video. Fantasy-wise, is Rex Burkhead an option, and how does he affect James White and Sony Michel as fantasy plays?
Right, I don't think that he's an option to start on his own. Okay. I think that you will see a little bit of an effect on your James White and Sony Michel plays, though, and that kind of, if you have other running back options, it's going to certainly start to become a little bit of a committee here in New England, like we're used to seeing. They've had such only 2 guys really at that position, if you want to add Patterson in there, obviously, too. But they really only had those 2 guys available at that position, and they've had very defined roles, right? James White is the third down, pass-catching down back, and Sony Michel is the runner between the tackles. Now, Burkhead's going to take, I would say, about 15 to 20 snaps a game away from both of those guys, probably get a few snaps ticked off the old snap count list after the game. So I think that the main thing is that, if you have a James White or you have a Sony Michel, if you have options with guys that are going to log more snaps on other teams that are the more primary running back, I would look to start those options.
All right, we'll see. What do you think Rex Burkhead will do Sunday against the Vikings? Let us know in the comments down below or on Twitter at PatriotsCLNS. This has been the Foxboro Report. It was brought to you by 1-in-100. Check them out for cheap game tickets at 1in100.co. From Gillette Stadium, he's Evan Lazar. I'm Alex Barth for CLNS. Thanks for watching.